Hello, Rebecca. Welcome to our class. How are you today?
Hi, teacher. Good night. I'm doing great. But a little bit tired.
Oh, okay, I got it. I'm really sorry because of it, but I hope you can
Don't worry.
relax and you enjoy the class also. Okay. Thank you for coming on time. Let's wait a little moment for our classmates because, well, I don't know what happened to them this time. Let me see. How
Teacher,
was? Yes, yes.
you wrote in Spanish.
Oh, yes, I did it. I'm really
You
sorry.
said the last time that we need to go to write in English.
Yes, you are right. Okay, I'm really sorry. I completely forgot it. I do it in
Just kidding.
Spanish. Okay, I do it in Spanish because I consider it's easier for people to read the message at the moment and start coming to the class. But I will start using English also. Okay. Well, tell me, how was your day? What did you do today, Rebecca?
Well, uh, I was not I was not in the office all the day because I asked I asked for un permiso
I asked for permission.
for permission to do something personal. So
Okay.
I I I was not in the office all the day.
Okay, that's why you are tired. Okay, I got it. So, well, but that's something good, okay, that you could take or you could take the time for some things you had to do. Okay? Thank you for
Yes,
sharing, Rebecca.
that is a benefit because in the company they
Uh-huh.
are they are flexible.
Okay. Well, that's something really nice. Okay.
Yes.
I really like those kind of companies. Pretty good. Okay, let's see. Omar is over here. So hello, Omar. How are you today?
Hello, teacher. I'm great.
Okay, happy to listen to it. Tell me, how was your day? What did you do today?
Yeah, I really was relaxed day.
Oh, really? That's nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing, Omar, about this. We are going to start a class, everybody. It's time to start. So right now, everybody, I'm so happy to start this topic. Well, all topics are important. All classes are important, everybody. But I consider this is a topic that is not very common that we study. That's why everybody, please try to pay attention to this topic. If you have questions, ask questions. I don't have any problem at the moment of answering your questions. If I know, I will help you. If I don't know, we will look for the information together, okay? So before we start with this topic, everybody, I want to ask you, give me a second. Okay, I want to ask you guys, what's the biggest decision you have taken in your life, okay? What's the biggest or the most difficult decision you have taken in your life, okay? I will give you 1 minute to think about that decision because during our whole life, we have to take different decisions and most of them are important. In some cases, so we have easy situations or easy decisions. For example, if you go to buy an ice cream, so you have to decide what kind of ice cream do you want. If you go to, I don't know, if you want to go to a clothing store, you have to think about, you have to decide what kind of clothes do you want, So there are some easy decisions that we have to take throughout our life or throughout the years. But in this opportunity, guys, I want to ask you about the biggest decision you have taken in your life. The biggest or the most difficult situation that you consider, okay? Think about it, everybody, and you let me know when you have your answer, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Tick tock, tick tock. Okay, let me know when you are ready, guys. So it can be, guys, about your personal life. It can be about your work. It can be about your education. It can be about well, about anything, guys. About anything you think about. Okay. Time's almost over. So let's see. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we will start this time, ladies first. I'm sorry, Rebecca. I'm sorry, but tell me, Rebecca, what's the biggest decision you have taken in your life? What do you think?
Maybe born. Just
Okay.
kidding. No, maybe when I decide don't go with my mom to Panama because she decided going to live there.
Okay.
So maybe that is one of the most important. And recently or nowadays, when I decide start to live alone.
Okay. When did you decide to live alone? How long?
Almost 1 year and 4 months ago.
Okay, well, I consider that's a really difficult challenge because of, well, in my case, guys, let me tell you that I live I still live with my family. So I consider that it's easier when you are in that situation, right? Because you don't have to pay all the bills in the house and, well, in some cases, right? You don't have to pay for all the bills and, well, when you live alone, so that's a different situation, right?
Yes, when you live alone, you have more responsibilities.
Yes, that's right. Okay. So that's a great decision that you have taken, Rebecca, and I really admire that. Well, that that decision or those things that you have ever done. I want to ask you about the first situation. You told me that well, one decision was not to go to Panama with your mom. Would you like to live in Panama with her?
Eh, Actually, wait, let me see. Oh, in 2021, I went to Panama, but I think I don't want. I d- I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't live there because there is too hot, and I don't like that kind of weather.
And how are you doing right now in El Salvador? Everywhere
Uh,
it's really hot.
in these days, I'm I don't know.
You don't know?
I just
Okay.
I just want every day raining.
Oh, well, that would be nice, I consider, but not well. It would be nice if it rains, but not too much. Okay, just a little. Okay,
Yeah, just
like
a little
drizzling.
bit, but in these days with this weather, I wish if all the days uh, rains.
Okay, yeah, it would be nice actually. It would be nice if it is kind of drizzling. Okay, drizzling is like when it's in El Salvador we say pringando, right? Cuando hay una pequeña llovizna, so drizzling. Okay, so it would be nice. It would be nice because it's an imaginary situation, sadly. Okay, but well, that's something nice. Okay, I'm so happy that well, at least you have taken your decisions and you don't regret about them. Okay, very good. And what about you, Omar? What's the biggest decision you have taken in your life, or the most difficult decision?
Yeah, teacher, the biggest decision I have taken is look for a job early and be independent nowadays. So I started work around 7 years ago, and I have been work in my job for years. And I
O-
mean in my job.
Okay, how old were you when you started working, Omar?
Mm, let me see, 18 years.
Oh, you were 18 years old.
Yeah, I
Okay.
finished the middle school and I started working
Wow.
because yeah, because I really didn't like so
To
land
study.
no 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 land loaned or lend money.
Oh yeah, land.
So my parents, so because this is the situation, this is the point, because I started work around 7 years ago. So nowadays I'm independent. I live with my girlfriend.
Okay, but that's something nice. I really well, first of all, I want to tell you that I really admire the first decision that you mentioned, that it's to start working in a well, once you finish high school, so you started working, well, you started looking for a job. That's a great decision that you have taken. And as I mentioned, I really admire that thing because well, I can't imagine because I started working when I was 21 years old. So you can see that 3 years of difference. So we feel like the time that we have spent, or in some cases, as you mentioned, when we are 18 years old, we are well, most of the people is not thinking, or they don't want to start working, but you have taken a great decision once you finish high school. But now at least I consider that you have more opportunities like this one to study English, and to, well, maybe in some months or in some time you will have the opportunity to get a better job, I consider, and to have even more facilities than the ones that you have now. Okay.
Yeah, teacher, it's not was easy, but nowadays I think I'm very good because I'm live with my girlfriend. I have my motorcycle. I have a stability in my job, and I had around maybe 5 or 6 jobs in those years. So I really feel like good because I think I am a good person. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, that I'm so happy to listen to it, Omar, that you, well, as I mentioned, if you get another job, like for example, a job in which you speak English, it will help you a lot to have more facilities. I can see that you have great facilities now, so you can, well, as you mentioned, you are independent. You can live with your girlfriend, and well, you have your responsibilities, of course, but you are not going through difficulties um, to face those responsibilities that you have. So that's something nice, and I'm so happy. Well, I'm so happy to listen to both of you, Rebecca and Omar, that you have in your life you have achieved different things, and as you know, in some cases, these decisions that you have mentioned, they well, these kind of decisions that we take throughout our life, uh, they can make things different. So if we decide, as you can see in the picture, we have three different ways, right? So it's similar in our lives. In our lives, in some cases, we have different options or different decisions to take. So those decisions can change our path or can change our life. Some of them can, we can take good decisions, and also we can take bad decisions. So all of those decisions that we take, everybody, can make us well, find our way, or they can help us to get lost. Okay, the important thing, guys, is that we have, well, you have done great decisions, guys. And today, why are we talking about this? Because everybody, today's class, it's also about some decisions that we can take, also the decision that we had never taken. And we will talk about the third conditional. Remember, guys, in English, there are around four conditionals. Zero conditional, which is present and present. Then we have a first conditional, which is a simple present and future. Then we have the second conditional, which is simple past and would. And today, everybody, we have the third conditional. Pay attention to the structure of third conditional, everybody, because this is, well, this is important at the moment of talking about decisions and sometimes, everybody, imaginary situations. Pay attention to Rebecca. She's going to help us with the first part, okay? Help me out with this, Rebecca, please.
Okay, the third conditional, it's used to describe a situation that didn't happen and to imagine the result of this situation. The structure is if plus past perfect, would plus have plus past participle. For example, if he had taken a taxi, we wouldn't have missed the plane.
Okay, thank you for reading, Rebecca. It was really nice. As you can see, what is the use of third conditional? First of all, everybody, to describe a situation that didn't happen and imagine the result of this situation. As you can see, both parts of the sentence, of the third conditional sentences, are about imaginary situations, unreal situations. And we have the following example. If he had taken a taxi, this is the situation that didn't happen. So this is an unreal situation. If he had taken a taxi, maybe he wanted to go, well, he needed to go to the airport, and he preferred to take the bus. So the unreal situation, everybody, is taking a taxi. He didn't want to take a taxi in this situation. Why? We don't know, right? We don't know. But this is the unreal situation that we are describing. If he had taken a taxi, now what could be the result if he had done that unreal situation. He wouldn't have missed the plane. So he was late at the airport. He couldn't travel or he couldn't move by airplane from one place to another one. Okay? As you can see in this example, first of all, we describe an unreal situation, an imaginary situation. And then everybody, we have the result of the imaginary situation. What could be the result if we had done or we hadn't done this situation, okay? Also, pay attention to the structure of third conditional. The structure, guys, well, first of all, we have the if clause. The if clause, everybody, it's always if plus past perfect. Remember the structure of past perfect. We have to use the subject. After the subject, we use, what do we use? We use an auxiliary. And what is the auxiliary for past perfect? 5, 4, 3, 2.
It's was, teacher, and where?
Oh, that's for simple past. In past perfect, we have had.
Yeah,
Yes.
in past perfect, yeah, had.
Yeah, so we use had, and after that we use the verb in past participle. Remember? Well, I will write past participle. After that, what we use the complement. Okay? So this is the structure that we have to use in affirmative, and you know in negative, hadn't. Instead of using had, we use hadn't. So give me a second. What happened? Okay, I will write the structure for you on the chat, and you can remember about the use of past. Well, about the structure of past perfect. Okay, give me a second. Let me see if I copy it. Yes. Okay. So remember, guys, in this case, when we use past perfect always in the if sentence. So if we are using everybody would in the if sentence, the sentence is not correct. Okay. Then everybody, the main clause of the if sentence is the would sentence. Okay. Would have, and then we use the past participle. Remember that would have is describing or is talking about the result of an imaginary situation. We will check this, everybody, in the following picture. Okay, as you can see, everybody, this is the way that we can divide or we can describe the two parts or the two clauses of the third conditional. The first part of the third conditional, everybody, is the if clause. In the if clause, everybody, we describe an imagined event or an imagined situation, okay? Then everybody, in the would have sentence, we need to use the imagined result or the imaginary result, okay? Anytime we talk about third conditional, we are talking about situations that if we had done it in a specific way, we would have had a specific result, okay? We use the third conditional just to imagine, just to describe an unreal situation. The first condition, well, the zero and the first conditional, everybody, the zero conditional and the first conditional, everybody, remember that they are used in real situations, mostly in real situations. General truth, scientific facts, something that it's going to happen if we do the if clause. All of those examples talk about real things, real situations. Then everybody, if we talk about the second conditional, it is mostly about also on real situations, but they are, in some cases, they are impossible situations, okay? If I were a superhero, I would run very fast. So that's an impossible situation because anybody is a superhero. Or, well, nobody is a superhero, I'm sorry, okay? Nobody is a superhero, and nobody can run very fast as we can see Flash in series, okay? So the second conditional is for impossible situations, for things that can't be true, but we can imagine, right? Then the third conditional, everybody, it's used, first of all, for imaginary events or for imaginary situations and the imaginary result of that situation. This is the first use of third conditional. Do you have any question about this, everybody? Omar and Rebecca, any question?
For the moment, teacher, I only read the structure and I processed the topic. I don't have a questions.
Okay, just remember that when we use the third conditional, we talk about on real situations, okay? On real situations and on real results of the same situation, okay? Now let's check. Everybody, another use of third conditional is this one, okay? Can you help me reading, Omar, please?
Yes, teacher. Third conditional, we often use the third conditional to express regrets, describing things we are sorry happened or didn't happen. For example, if I hadn't eaten so much, I wouldn't have felt sick, but I did eat a lot and so I did feel sick.
Great, thank you, Omar. As you can see, when we use the third conditional, we also express regrets. So we feel sorry because of a situation that we did or that we didn't do, okay? For example, if I imagine you have a stomach ache because you ate a lot of food. So that's the following example that I am going to read. If I hadn't eaten so much, I wouldn't have felt sick. Okay? Look at the parentheses. In the parentheses, we have more context about the situation. I did eat a lot, or I ate a lot. What is the result? I felt sick. Okay, so as you can see, we are talking about regrets, something that you wish never happened. Okay, so in that case, everybody, as you can see, we are talking about real situations, okay, real situations, but we wish they never happened, okay, or they happened at least once. For example, if I hadn't eaten so much, as I mentioned, guys, I wouldn't have felt sick. I can give you another example, guys, about the situations that you told me. Okay, give me a second, if I hadn't lived alone, that's your example. Omar and Rebecca, you live, well, Omar, you don't live alone, but you have your own responsibility, right? But if I hadn't lived alone, I wouldn't, let me see, I wouldn't have known about responsibilities. Sometimes, guys, when we live with our parents or with family, we don't have a lot of responsibilities. Maybe we only have to, well, at least when you are in school and in high school, your main responsibility is to get good grades. So your parents ask you to get 9 and 10 in all your exams, in all your homework, in all the activities that you do at school and high school. You need to have good grades. That's your main responsibility. You don't have to worry about money. You don't have to worry about I don't know, you don't have to worry about working. You don't have to worry about food, at least at home, because you know your parents are paying for all things at home. So you don't have any responsibility. Now that you live alone or you live in your own house, so you're independent. So now you can think about this. This is not a regret. This is not a regret, I consider. Okay? But it could be also. If I hadn't lived alone, I wouldn't have known about responsibilities. I would never have the idea of having my own responsibilities. Now that I work, everybody, I will tell you about my situation. Now that I work, I know that I have to pay for my own things. So I have to buy my own clothes. I have to buy my own shoes. I have to pay for my university stuff, for my university fees. I have to pay my cell phone. So I have to do many things. I have different responsibilities that if I have never worked, if I hadn't worked, I wouldn't have had that experience. Now that I work, I know that I have more responsibilities than only cleaning the house and studying. I have more responsibilities than that, okay? I don't regret about that, but that's an example I can give you, right? If we regret about something, maybe, as Rebecca said, okay, this is my example, guys, okay? We will use our imagination right now. If I had gone to Canada to work, if I had gone to Canada to work, I would have had more job opportunities. Okay, this is one example, guys. Okay, imagine if in the past I had an opportunity to work in Canada, that would be nice. I really I want to give you my opinion, guys. That would be a great opportunity. But imagine I regret about not going to Canada. So then some years ago or in the future, I could say, if I had gone to Canada to work, I would have had more job opportunities. Okay? I regret about that because in the past, I had the opportunity to go to Canada, but I didn't take that opportunity. So now, everybody, I regret about that. One more time, guys, I mentioned this is one example because I never had the opportunity to go to Canada. If I had that opportunity, I really appreciate it. Okay? But this is one way to regret about something using the third conditional. Okay? Now, everybody, just to finish with this topic because it's kind of simple, as you see. Only remember to use past perfect if past perfect and would have, then guys, it will be easy for you. Okay, now let's pay attention to the last part of this topic. Please, Rebecca, read this information.
Okay, third conditional. As with all conditionals, you can also invert this structure. For example, we can use if plus past participle, would plus have.
Past perfect.
Yes. If plus past perfect, would plus have plus past participle. For example, she wouldn't have. No. And you can also use will have plus past participle, a comma, I think. No, without comma, if plus past perfect. For example, she wouldn't have been tired if she had gone to bed earlier.
Okay, that was pretty nice. Actually, I could say that we could add a plus over there, okay? Would have plus, past participle plus if, sorry, I forgot. I forgot that part. But as you can see, we divide the sentence into blue and red, okay? Well, as you can see, all conditionals, 0, first, second, and third conditional, have one thing in common, and it's that you can invert the structure. You can, well, the common structure that we learn, everybody, is if, and the if clause first, and then we use the main clause, okay? But in this opportunity, guys, we can also use, as in the other conditionals, we can use first the main clause. So the blue, guys, is the main clause. And the red one is the if clause. So in the if clause, everybody, we only have a condition, okay? If the condition is real or the condition happened, we have a result, which is the main clause, okay? The main clause always describes the result of the if clause, of the condition, okay? If this happened, this is the result. If this had happened, this would have been the result, okay? Pay attention to it. We never use, first of all, guys, we never use would in the if clause. And we never use the past perfect in the main clause, okay? In the result, okay? Well, past perfect never go in the result. It goes in the if clause. Remember to that part, and something that Rebecca mentioned, and it's also important to focus on, is that if we had first the if clause, then we use a comma. But if we use the structure in the other way around, would have, and at the end we use the if clause, we don't use a comma, okay? You can see the sentence in both ways. For example, if she had gone to bed earlier, comma, she wouldn't have been tired, okay? As you see in this example, if she had gone to bed earlier, she wouldn't have been tired, okay? This is the example in the first structure. Then we have the second structure, everybody, and the example in that way. We don't use a comma. She wouldn't have been tired if she had gone to bed earlier. No commas, everybody. We only change the position of the structure, okay? Now, everybody, that we finish studying this topic, I want to ask you, do you have any question?
Yeah, teacher, I have a little question.
Tell me, Omar.
This example is more common when we talk on we write, or both.
Actually, it can be used for both, okay? You can use it at the moment of writing, and you can also use it at the moment of speaking. It will depend on the situation. For example, imagine you are writing a letter to one friend that you, I don't know, a friend that you don't meet a long time ago. For example, your best friend. Imagine you don't talk to your best friend for around 4 years. So then what can you tell to your friend? For example, I could say to one of my friends, if we haven't talked for a long time, if we had lived closer, I would have visited you more often. Okay? I would have, if we had lived closer, I would have visited you more often. So that's one example, okay, of third conditional. You know that this is not real. Why? Because you don't live close to your best friend. Maybe you live in San Salvador and your best friend live in San Miguel. So that's not a real situation, right? You don't live close. You really live far. So if the situation was real, then we would have a result. But since the situation is unreal, we also have an unreal result. Okay? Well, that, as I mentioned,
Yeah.
that's a situation that you can write. But in some cases, maybe you can speak about some regrets or some unreal situations, right? It will depend on the situation. I could say that it depends on the situation. If you use it at the moment of writing or at the moment of speaking.
Okay, teacher. So I have, or I imagine a timeline. So we have a present perfect. Oh, sorry, a simple present, and we have simple past, sorry, and between the simple present and simple past, it's past perfect, or before simple past, teacher.
Well, if we talk about grammar tenses, we can say that we have simple present, we have present perfect between. Let me see. We have, it's not between, because present perfect start in the past, but it can still continue in present. So this is a part of both simple past and simple present perfect, right? Now we have the simple past, and after the simple past, we have the past perfect. So the past perfect, we could say that if we talk about grammar tenses, the past perfect is the last tense that we have. Okay.
Yeah, teacher, I ask you this because the past perfect, I think, is a hard topic of me.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I understand. So is because the past perfect, and we need use the verb in past participle, and we need to change the verb and use the verb the third column. So, but I think so. I need to study that.
Yes, well, apart from studying, because we are studying these topics over here and also on the platform, we need to practice, okay? I consider that, well, now that you have the grammar, now that you have this topic, the next step that we have to take is to practice, okay? Practice on the platform, practice over here, practice everywhere, okay? If you can go and watch videos about this topic, it will help you a lot. If you can do some practices about this topic, it will also help you. If you can look for speaking cards, I will tell you this, guys. Let me see. Third conditional. We will practice this, everybody, on, let me see, on Thursday. Yeah, on Thursday, guys, we are going to practice this, okay, with the speaking cards. Today, because we only have, I had to explain this topic to you. We didn't take the time to speak about this. But please, if you have time, everybody, look on Google, third conditional speaking cards. You will see some situations using the if clause. For example, if you had studied in a different place, Or if I had studied in a different place, okay, then you have to complete the sentence with the main clause. So maybe you can tell me, if I had studied in a different place, I would have studied in infra. Or if I had studied in a different place, I would have studied in, I don't know, in Colegio Garcia Flamenco. I don't know, guys. So maybe you can have different ideas. So if you have the time, everybody, to practice this topic, try to look for the speaking cards because it will help you a lot to create sentences and to get used to this topic. Right now, everybody. Yes, Omar?
Yeah, I have the last question, teacher.
Okay.
This topic is similar to wishes. I think so. I don't know.
Not really.
Because, oh, okay, because we had, for example, in Spanish, si hubiera pasado o si
Yeah,
hubiera
actually,
sucedido. I think
that's
so.
that's the correct meaning. If we translate from English to Spanish, that's the meaning of would have, hubiera, okay? De hubiera, okay? So that's why we are talking about unreal situations. Because as you know, in Spanish, hubiera no existe, okay? In Spanish, el hubiera no existe. That's why this is the, well, this is the same case. When we use the, how can I say it? When we use the third conditional, we are talking about unreal situations and the unreal result of that situation, okay?
Okay, teacher, thank you. I got it.
Okay, you're welcome. I will try, well, you can look also on the internet for the timeline of the conditionals. Remember that we have 4 conditionals: 0, first, second, and third conditional. You can look for the timeline and you will see that they are a mix of different tenses or a different topics, but it will help you guys to understand better when are we talking about real situations, when are we talking about unreal situations. Right now, everybody, because we have to practice this topic, let's pay attention to it. We will have a short quiz about the third conditional. Practice using the third conditional in this fun quiz. So let's start. Rebecca, before we move, do you have any question about this topic?
No, teacher.
Okay, it's clear for you. So, well done, okay?
The most of the people always say you don't need to compare the English with the Spanish. But for me, it's easier if I try to translate the topics in Spanish
Okay,
or the meaning
yes.
in Spanish.
In some cases, well, if you know about Spanish, the language, I mean, if you know about the language Spanish, the grammar in Spanish, it will help you a lot if you compare. The thing is that you don't have to translate, because if you translate, we start using expressions in English, sorry, in Spanish, but in, sorry, how can I say that? I got confused, I'm sorry. But in some cases, when we translate, we start using Spanish expressions, but in English. For example, what I told you yesterday, we don't say Omar has 24 years old. That's something that we use in Spanish, but not in English. In English, remember that we use the verb to be. That's the main thing, or the main reason why people tell you that you don't have to use Spanish to or you don't have to compare it with Spanish. But if it help you, maybe we are in the same situation, because I consider that if I know or if I remember Spanish, I can understand English also. So it helped me. So I consider it can also help you. Well, guys, now that we speak about this, it got a little longer, but we will have this short quiz. This is a really short quiz, everybody. So if I practiced, look at this, everybody. This is a third conditional sentence. If I'd had practiced, I would have learned it quickly. The third and the final conditional form in English needs quite a bit of practice to get used to. Practice it now by choosing the right option to complete the following sentences. Okay, everybody? Let's pay attention to it. Number one, if my alarm, I would have woken up at my usual time. Tell me, okay, we will start with Omar. Okay, Omar, what do you think is the correct answer? If my alarm have wrong, if my alarm rings, or if my alarm had wrong?
Yeah, teacher, is the option 3 or option C? If my alarm had rung, I would have woken up my usual time because
Perfect.
we use the past perfect.
Really good. Okay, that's nice. Thank you, Omar, for your answer. What about Rebecca? What do you think about example number 2?
In this example, it is the first option.
Okay, so what's the complete sentence?
If I hadn't woken up late, I wouldn't have missed my bus.
Perfect. Okay, I wouldn't have missed my bus. So well done. Number 3, Omar, if I the bus, I would have arrived at work on time.
Yeah, teacher, if I'd taken the option 3, option C, if I'd taken the bus, I would have arrived at work on time.
Very good. If I, well, guys, this is something interesting because well, had and would, they have the same contraction. It's apostrophe and the letter
And letter
D.
D.
Yeah, both of them have the same contraction. So it's interesting. I don't know for you if it is easier or more difficult. So we will check later. Well, Rebecca, next example. If I'd been at work on time, my boss angry. What is the correct sentence?
If I'd been at work on time, my boss wouldn't have been angry.
Nice, good job. Okay, let's see. Okay, Rebecca, now help me out with example number 5. Okay, then I will listen to Omar in 2 more examples. Okay,
Okay.
Rebecca, what is the right answer?
He wouldn't have minded if I hadn't forgotten a meeting with some customers.
Nice, okay, good job. Well, Omar, now it's your moment to answer 2 questions, okay? So tell me, what is the correct sentence?
Yeah, teacher, the customers, oh, the customers wouldn't complain if their goods had been delivered. I think so.
Letter
I'm not
B,
sure. Yeah, letter B, I'm not sure.
hadn't and wouldn't together?
Oh, no.
Uh-huh.
Is letter C. The customer wouldn't have complained if their goods had been delivered.
Perfect, okay? The customers wouldn't have complained. Perfect job, okay? So we have the verb in past participle. Well done, okay? Well, did you answer 2 questions or only one, Omar? Only one, right?
Only one, yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
help me out with this one.
Okay. Yeah. If they had their goods, they could have finished. Letter option B.
Very good. I'm so happy because we didn't study this, the use of could. Actually, we are going to study this topic tomorrow because this is another way to speak about imaginary situations. But Omar, perfect. Okay, well done. Rebecca, you will help me with the next two examples, okay? If we have more. I don't know how many examples are there. But tell me, what is the correct sentence number 8?
If there hadn't been so much traffic, the truck wouldn't have been delayed.
Okay, nice job. Actually, we only have 8 results. Let me see, get your results. Well, 8 questions, I'm sorry. And let's see, get your results now. Complete the form with your personal information. No, I will not do it, okay? Get my results. Okay, guys, I have to, well, I have to introduce my information. I will not do it because of the time. And because
Don't worry.
it's not my result, it's yours, okay? So
But I
everybody,
think so. We had 10 of 10.
yes, actually you had it, okay? Because all the examples were correct. So guys, I really congratulate you because of your effort. Let's continue like that. And please, guys, try to check the exercises on the platform. You can check them, you can complete those exercises. And of course, guys, you will get your result from in the platform, okay? So if you understood this topic, we will see on the platform if it is better, okay? Or if it is easier for you, okay? Everybody, remember today we start the unit 4. So we have to complete the next exercises. At least for tomorrow, everybody, try to complete, try to complete or start in activity 4.0 and finish in activity 4.1.5, okay? Please, guys, try to check these topics and also, well, complete all these activities for tomorrow. Remember that we need to reach the 75% at the end of this week, ¿ok? Tenemos que alcanzar el 75% al final de esta semana. Bueno, a más tardar el lunes, right? Pero at least for today, everybody, I'm so happy that all of you got the 50% of the activities. So keep up the good work and complete these activities. Guys, it was a pleasure to share this topic with you. I told you all classes are important, but this one I consider was even more important. Okay, try to practice, everybody. Have a good night, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Thank you, teacher.
Good night. See you.
Okay, you're
I'm proud
welcome. See you
of
tomorrow.